Yep, and that's what fuels this show. Joe and Joe, episode 28. Chris Rouse, alongside Joseph Gregory, another episode of Joe and Joe. What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, what's good, man? Man, what a weekend in sports, bro. What a weekend in sports, man. Hey,
Oh,
do
wow.
me a favor, bro. Do me a favor. Talk your shit,
What's
big
that?
dog. Talk your shit, big dog, because I thought Duke was winning that. I thought Duke
Well,
was going to beat North Carolina, man. I thought it was going to happen.
hey, it was an epic. That game was so epic. I couldn't. I mean, how I feel about it's just an epic game, epic feeling. Um, I couldn't even go at my Duke people after this game. I feel like I could go at them after the camera game, but I couldn't even go at them after this game because it was such a sensational game. Knowing the meaning of the game, knowing it was the first time that they was ever facing in the semifinal in this last game. All of that. It just sort of hit me to just let this moment stay where it was at. Hell yeah, I was happy as hell. Shout out to Caleb Love, another clutch performance. 26 of his 28 in the second half. Mondo Baycott fighting through the ankle injury, putting up 11 points and 21 boards. R.J. Davis chipping in with the 18. Brady Manick, 14, hitting big shots. Just doing enough to win the game, man. It was a hell of a game. Shout out to Banchero and those guys. They was balling.
Hey, North Carolina, man, the team that's hot at the right time, man. That's the team that's hot at the right time this year. And hey, I don't know,
both teams.
I don't know,
both teams. I guess I'm gonna come with the news of the day in a minute, but since we already got up off of this, and I can't really get up off of it now. I started off watching the Kansas Villanova semifinal with my nephew, Bino Harvell or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we were watching the first few minutes, and it was like 11-2, and O'Shea Abaghi was just shooting, and McCormack was just doing whatever he wanted to do. He was like, man, this is like a continuation of the Miami game. And that's how it started almost till Villanova got their footing like late in the first half and was able to get within like striking distance. But the way Kansas defended, they was really able to clamp down on Gillespie without Moore being there. Caleb Daniels stepped up with 13 points. Slater stepped up, played a big game, but they really got nothing down low that they needed from Samuels and Dixon, offensively or defensively, trying to guard David McCormack with 25 and 9.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's exactly what I talked about on my show, the Chris Rouse show, when I did my Final Four weekend preview. I mentioned how I thought Villanova had no size, and then no size against Kansas. And then on top of that, with Justin Moore being out with the Achilles, they were going to have to make some shots, which they were only really able to do for about that stretch in like the final 12 minutes of the first half when they was down like 9. They was down like 38-19.
It was 38-19, and they started whittling away.
Right. Then they had a run, and then right before the half, and matter of fact, we was watching that at the Now Arena right before the game. So, so we was watching that on the jumbotron. But Nova was out there. They had that little run, and then that was really the only run I saw out of the Wildcats. Hey, Kansas.
I mean, the 3-point shooting.
I mean, a lot of size.
Yeah. A lot of size. They got that wing size. We talk about Christian Brown and those guys. Harris played a terrific game at point, defending Gillespie, making him work. We know about McCormack big inside and Lightfoot bagging him up. So it's going to be a hell of a game, man. Kansas, 2 teams that's hot,
Kansas is an interesting team because their guards are decent. But I think Kansas' best player is Ochai Agbaji. As good as Kansas is on the interior with like McCormack and with Christian Brown getting to the cup and Remy Martin is a solid point guard. Ochai Agbaji is a shooter. That dude is a sniper. Everywhere on the floor, pull up jumpers, spot up jumpers, he hitting. Like that boy got a torch. That man got a torch.
Yeah, so I can see us having maybe Leaky Black on him, us switching up. We don't have to pay him a lot of attention. So it's gonna be a real tough game. I know you probably going with Kansas already because it was in your Final Four or whatever. So I know that's what you're probably going with. No, it's all right. I know that's what you're going with.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know, man. That's like you gotta remember, man. The matchups change based off when teams lose, and a Duke Kansas matchup is much different than a North Carolina Kansas matchup because North Carolina is hot and Caleb Love Caleb Love showed to me in that game against Duke that if he can get matchups against like switches against like a McCormack, Kansas might have some problems. But I do agree that Kansas with their size on the lane, that could negate North Carolina's shooting, and it comes down to Armando Bacot as well. Like,
see, that's what the two things that scared me are if Baycott was somehow, I know the ankle is coming in already bad. So when it's bad already, you can't do nothing to it. I mean, they can't trip over nobody, you can't step on nobody again, you can't have nobody step on it. You know, that part is his ankle injury is scaring me, and Kansas' depth scares me a little bit more different than the depth from Duke. You know, Kansas comes at you in waves.
Yeah.
You know, when they come off the bench, they can try to weigh you down using a lot of guards. And that's not going to just be Harris. Like I said, it's going to be Brown. Wilson's been playing very good at that forward position. Hopefully he doesn't try to take advantage of Brady Manick inside or whatever, inside, outside. So I do have my concerns, but hopefully I'm just believing in love, man. Caleb shows no love.
North Carolina shooting.
RJ Davis shot making. And his shot making early against Duke, man. You know, he had been Chero on skates a couple of times in that first half, and I was like, okay, this is before Love really got going. Because man, once Love got going, he didn't cut it off. He had all kind of teardrops coming to the lane. Baycott, second shots.
No, but hold on. With Baycott against Kansas, what makes me nervous for him is that his foul trouble issues sometimes. He's gonna have to work. He's gonna have to play some defense, disciplined defense, because he fouled out against Duke. And I don't really know Mark Williams as a dominant post threat, but like he was able to get him in foul trouble. Also, Duke did a good job of attacking the basket.
Yeah, but Mike, he's 7 feet. Williams is a beast. I think that was one of the keys to that win for Carolina was getting him in foul trouble early and getting him off the court. He had him with 2 fouls, and then they had John get 4 fouls in this time he played in the first half. So that was very big as far as Baycott being able to get some rebounds. He had 8 offensive rebounds and getting second shots.
There was only one moment. I don't like to blame college players, but here's what I'll say. There was one play in the game where I was like, "That's it for Duke," and that was when Williams missed the free throws.
He missed the 2 free throws.
When he missed the 2 free throws with about 36 seconds left, 35, 26, whatever it was left. It was in the final 40 seconds, and he missed the 2. I was like, okay, if they can get a stop, maybe that's it. And then when Love hit the 3.
I think it was 72-70 when that happened.
Yeah.
And he missed the 2 free throws, and Love hit the 3 and made it 75-70.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and when that sequence of plays, that was when I was like, that was the first time I was like, well, that's it for Coach K. Unless they can hit some threes, and then
I didn't feel like that to the last. I didn't feel like that till he made the 2 free throws at the end.
Nah, Keels hit a 3, right? Didn't Keels hit
like Keels hit a 3?
Keels hit a 3, and I was like, okay, but like they still gotta like miss some free throws, and I'm like,
hey, then Keels missed the free throw. Then Keels like split a free throw, and it was like 79-77. He could have made it 79-78, but he missed the free throw and stayed 79-77, and Love made the 2. So I didn't feel like that was it till it was over. I'm seeing these games too often. Somebody be down.
No, I
don't see too many.
But sometimes you get that vibe when you watch a game, and you be like, all right, yeah, that's it. Like that's how, like, because we was at the Now Arena, like Windy City had just finished playing a season finale, so we turned the game on. We was watching it in the building, and I remember sitting there jumping around like, let's go Duke and all of that. And then when Williams missed the free throws, that was the first moment I was like, that might be it. And then when Caleb Love came down, and I was like, if he hit that, that's it. And then he hit it, I was like, that's it.
That was it. Yeah, man.
That's it. That's it.
Yes, sir.
That was it. Bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a big game tonight now. So we got us a big game tonight, man. That's huge, man. Just want to get this win back. Hubert Davis in his first year, this coaching. It's a team that got wiped out by 22 by Pitt. We coming in this as an 8 seed. You know what I'm saying? Think about the teams that we're gonna beat on this journey, man.
Y'all wasn't supposed to get here, man.
And we're gonna beat Baylor. We're gonna beat UCLA.
Y'all shouldn't.
Now we're gonna beat Duke. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't believe that.
Man, we're ready for this, man.
I thought Baylor was gonna win that region. Y'all stole that one.
Yeah, we had to do what we had to do.
Hey man, we had to do what we had to do, man. Nah, I feel you, bro. Anyway, man, we was in such a hurry. Platinum Blend.
Platinum Blend to you. Platinum Blend to Chris Rouse, man. I heard about this this commentary, man. When you get parents feeding back about how good you're doing, man, you got to give you a platinum blend for that, my brother. Shout out to Eric. Putting that message out there, man. You're doing big things on the lacrosse thing, as well as smashing this last season at Windy City, man. So shout out to you, man.
Yeah,
your energy, your knowledge of the game. She was very specific with what she heard from you. So yeah, shout out to you, my brother, for crushing that like that.
I don't even know if that was a mother. That could have been a father for all I know.
Yeah, it could have been a mother. Yeah, father.
It said third of.
Hey, it's a family member that went back and heard the broadcast. Like, man, that dude is on it. So yeah, shout out to you.
Hey, not to be on my own sack, but that's not the first time that's happened in like the last 5 or 6 months. So I appreciate it, but it's kind of weird because it's getting to a point where it's like thank you, but it's like thank you, but I don't know what else to say other than thank you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I should say more, but I don't know what else to say.
Right. And shout out.
And shout
also,
out to
go ahead.
Shout out to LaFonso Ellis, the wife of LaFonso Ellis. She too sent me a message. Same thing when we did Chicago State Grand Canyon because LaFonso Ellis' son plays for Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm. Another platinum blend to Jonathan Hood, our very own J Hood. Now, what happened Friday was really just a travesty. This is why your occupation has changed over the last month or so. You know what I'm saying? This was just I know, and I'm pretty sure because he told me he was going to fill you in on this situation. I'm quite sure one of our good mutual guys probably already filled you in on.
Yeah, he told me.
So I mean, he
told me what you said. You said that too. Like this is why your occupation is open. Yeah,
and this is just ridiculous. I mean,
he told me,
bro, for a day that wasn't scheduled as a doubleheader, it was supposed to be a single game on Friday, and I think after that they were supposed to go to Valparaiso play on Saturday, and I think we were supposed to get the Sunday game. I think that's what was supposed to happen. Okay. But when the weather happened, when they saw how the weather was, when they saw it was going to be messed up on Saturday, they said, damn, we're going to try to get 2 games in on the Friday, right? Since it's going to be all messed up on Saturday, we might as well get it in on Friday.
You know how that weather goes.
Which was still cold as hell, but it just wasn't no precipitation. So on short notice, found out on Thursday that, okay, we was going to work a doubleheader. And I know you already know, 3 people. Me, our good guy Jack, and my new good friend DC. Just started working at it.
Okay.
Just us 3. And Tim.
Big Tim. Salute to Tim.
And I salute to our new graphics person, Anna. That's what she does, is graphics. You just come do graphics.
Hey, man, salute to that. Get that money, man. Get that money.
So we got there at 10. Set up for the first baseball game. A baseball game that lasted 3.5 hours. You know how hard that is when it's a 3 hour and 20-minute first game and you got a doubleheader. But this is what I said before the doubleheader. I said, well,
I know.
Wait. I ain't even tell you the other part. So before the game started, I told Tim, at least one of the games 7 innings. Which one's 7 innings? This one or the second? They said, oh no, that's not. This is a non-conference game. Both of them are 9 innings. You know that part, right? You didn't know that part. So this game lasted 12 to damn near 3:25, 3:30 or some shit. So our good friend Jonathan Hood comes out. We both come like, damn, where's the Connie's at? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, man, this is terrible. Ain't nothing. We got a case of Aquafina. That's all that was there. It's a case of Aquafina and about a 12-pack of Diet Pepsi. This is the only thing that's there. From 10, and this is going to be a double day. I mean, we came right there at 3:25. They told us we got another game in 45 minutes. It was like 3:30. They started the game quick and everything. My good friend DC walked me like, man, my hair starting getting light. I got to go give me something to eat. I started to go with him. I'm like, man, he kind of, stiff. I done had to stand 3.5 hours.
Cold, right?
Yeah,
feet cold.
yeah, and
cold,
that too.
Right?
2 pairs of socks on, feet still cold.
Toes probably stiff. Can't feel your feet.
You know how long it'll take me to walk there and walk back? And then I gotta use them. Then I gotta use these mugs again for 9 more.
And then you gotta stand, right? You gotta keep
I say, no, I just went in there and sat out. It was like, yeah, it's terrible. You gotta get something to eat. Like, it ain't for me, it's for guys like Joe and them guys out there on camera. Y'all whatever. So long story short,
salute to that. I like that, man. Yeah. Look at that. Salute to that.
So shout out to Hood. You got a nice spread from Rosati's. Got a couple got about 4 pieces in that joint. Salad up in there and everything.
And a salad.
And
J Hood, salute.
Man, I mean, but he shouldn't have to do that, and he didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about like, man, where's US? Man, where are people at? Where my employees at in this?
He shouldn't, and he didn't, but he did. Because salute to J Hood, because that's the type of guy he is. Man.
I mean, I just feel like you can't have 30 pieces. We get for a basketball game, we got to get there at 5 o'clock. We set up by 5:40, and then we got 30 pieces there. But we finna work from 10 to 8 o'clock, 8:14. That's what time I got in my car. After being there at 10, at 8:14. We're gonna be there from 10 to 8:14 and get a case of water. I mean, make it make sense. You gotta make this man. I said I would have took a pot of soup. You could have us a pot of tomato soup. Just give me a big old pot of chicken broth out here at least for this heat.
Tomato soup. You taste tomato.
Give us a pot of chicken broth or something, man. Hot chocolate or something.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, man, other than hey, all I got for you is don't blame the flame.
hey, and both of the games is like long as hell. Both of the games is like 3.5 hours.
I've been there. I know how that
jacket. Me and Jack had a nice old.
I did it yesterday.
Yeah, that's why I looked up like, man, y'all got a 4-10 game too. That's why I had to make sure you want to do this.
Them them baseball double headers ain't no joke, man. Especially when you start the season like that, because it's like, damn, man, no warm up, just right back into it, bro.
And I've been short-staffed and cold. Every time it's a game schedule, the weather is terrible. Yesterday, we ended up.
I swear, dude.
We ain't streamed the game yesterday because we didn't have enough people because it was on short notice again. That's why they ain't streamed the game yesterday. But the weather was beautiful. The next game schedule, Wednesday, terrible. See, Friday, terrible.
Man,
Saturday and Sunday, I guess we're gonna get back to back.
You got me thinking, do I got to do baseball, man? I've been doing lacrosse lately, so ain't no getting out of it. It's happening. Snow,
it's happening.
Hell, sleet, snow, it's happening, dog. You out there. So in terms of, I'm not even worried about baseball at this point, man. I'm trying to get through these lacrosse games, man. It's freezing out
it's like
there,
soccer.
dog.
You got to be in it.
Man, dude, you got to be ready, dude. Hey, I love it, though. I love it, but damn.
I love it, too. These the conditions that test your love.
Man, I swear to God, dude. That's what they do, man. Platinum Blend for me. They go to the South Carolina Gamecocks, the women's basketball team, national champions. Mm-hmm. Salute to Dawn, baby. You know what she told Martin on remember what she told Martin? I ain't touch you. She touching all on that national championship trophy as they got it for the second time as they beat UConn 64-59. 40.
Yeah, don't be short in that defense. That smothering relentless defense.
I'm sorry, South Carolina.
Hey, them Gamecocks was sweating them dogs last night. I know that. It was all in their grill. Salute to Paige Beckers coming back off a knee injury. She tried to lead them with 14 points, but man, Destiny Henderson on both ends of the court. She set the tone defensively on Beckers. Then she just did her thing offensively, leading the way with 26 points. And Aaliyah Boston, what can you say? In the middle, shutting down everything.
Player of the year.
Player of the year.
Yeah, come on, man. Hey, Destiny Henderson.
Wire to wire.
Hey, I don't think they give out MVP for the game because all they talked about was
they
MVP.
Do the most outstanding player, yeah.
Yeah, but Destiny Henderson was the MVP of that game last night. Man. You talk about somebody having a game.
Relentless drives
on the line. And
threes from the corner. Dude. Man, she did everything for that team last night.
Destiny Henderson lit it up. Like she had like that third quarter. It was a stretch in the third quarter. She was getting to the cup. She hit somebody with a euro. And no
fell back. She looked like she flopped. It was cool.
She like she got
Mika cool, yeah. Yeah, she just was like
in the building.
I'm like, yeah, the referee should have gave a flop warning. That shouldn't have been no flop warning. I mean, she fell back.
Flop. She crossed her, dog.
She just fell back. She was 3 feet away from him. I'm like, damn, is she cheating? She trying to draw a charge.
Oh my goodness.
It's coming down so fast on him, man.
She hit it with that euro so quick. And she like it was a sniper in the building the way she fell back. But she got right to the rim. Destiny Henderson had the biggest game, had the best game in the biggest game. Salute to that. She should be. If they give out game MVP, I would give it to Destiny Henderson. Salute to her in South Carolina.
Yeah, man. Did they thing?
Man, didn't they, man? And like they kept like some of UConn's best players like off the board in the biggest game of the season. And it's like that. It's crazy how that works out sometimes. You know, UConn is a team with a lot of talent. No, you good, man. I got you. You Paige Beckers, AZ Fudd, Aaliyah Edwards, Nelson Agoda. They got a lot of good players, but in the biggest game, man, South Carolina proved they proved why they were number one all season long.
Yeah, they were determined. You know, they felt very salty about how that last season ended. It was on a mission all year. You saw them in that pregame downstairs. Said we came here to finish business. It's the end of the business tonight. So yeah.
Salute to Landon Wooders, man. Land Cruz the Barber in the chat, man. What's good, Landon?
What's up, Landon? How you feeling, bro?
See you out here, big dog. I see you out here, man.
You can tell me who else in the chat.
Oh, it's a few other people, man. So not making it. Marco Hope, Big Polo.
What up, Polo? Big hope Polo your move has been successful as I hope mine is going to be, big fella.
Big Polo in the chat, man. College basketball. Hey, shout out to North Carolina, Kansas. I'm gonna be real, man. I think North Carolina might take this one, man. I
think so?
I think North Carolina might take this.
You really think so?
I really do.
Caleb Love and Abaghi, man. I mean, that matchup right there, man, is gonna go nuts. So
it is, man. But you know what?
What?
I'm gonna pick Kansas. I'm gonna just pick Kansas. I'm gonna just stick with my bracket. I'm gonna just stick with my bracket. I'm gonna go with Kansas.
I knew you would. I don't know why you tried to build it up like you wasn't gonna do that. I know how you.
Because North Carolina is the hot team right now, and it's kind of hard to go against them right now.
Listen. I've been around you for 5 years now. I've been around you for damn near 5 years now, doing these damn shows.
Yeah.
These students of the games, these Joe and Joe, these Chris Rouse, these World Class Hoops podcasts, and I know how you pick. When you pick get the closest, that's who you pick. Like if you pick the Bucks and the Chiefs for the Super Bowl, if only the Chiefs and the Rams get there, you're gonna go with the Chiefs because that's your pick. So I know how you're gonna pick. So you can't go with me now about matchup. Only way you're gonna change unless it's like a super defining injury. Like if I told you, if I told you Abaghi was suspended or something for a flagrant foul or somebody was hurt, that's the only way you're gonna really switch. So don't do that.
But it's hard. I can't lie to you, dude. I want to pick North Carolina, but you're right. I can't.
Well, pick them if you want to. What you mean you want to?
I can't flip flop on my own picks, like you said. I'm gonna pick my closest. Cause it's like I was kind of there. I had Kansas, so I'm gonna go with Kansas. But North Carolina look dangerous.
We look dangerous. I think we look dangerous. It's gonna be a hell of a game, man. I hope we win.
Yeah. Don't you hope we win? Playoffs. It's gonna be a dangerous playoffs for the Bulls, man. If they don't get it together.
Well, shout out to DeMar DeRozan for leading that great comeback against the Clippers when they was down by 16 and he brought them back and had 50, put up 50 on the Clippers and led that great comeback. Yeah, that was great. Then Saturday came and that part of their schedule I've been worried about started to try to wreak its ugly head as Miami came in here and wiped the Bulls. Ran them out the gym. Practiced at USC the day before. Then came and ran them out of the United Center. 127-109. Miami right now 2 games clear of Boston. In the playoff race right now, the Bulls are 5th. But the Bulls' magic number to not play in the play-in game suddenly is 1. And we'll see if they can get to that. This is a very tough end of the 4 games that they have to play. Go ahead.
No, I mean, let me ask you this, man. I mean, I picked Miami, right, to win the East.
Yeah, you did.
So, like, it don't surprise me the Bulls got smoked by Miami. And honestly, I'm going to just say this now. I think I love this Bulls team, but I don't see them getting out the second round, man. I see them giving somebody a good 7 games.
The second round?
I mean,
is the first round the second round now?
No, I'm not doing that.
That's what I'm asking. You consider the play-in the first round?
No, the play-in is the play-in, and the first round is the first round.
You're saying the Bulls? So you're saying the Bulls gonna win a series? Then?
The Bulls are gonna win a first round series, but I see them being a second round elimination and maybe a 7-game series with somebody. It's just when I look at the Bulls. Here's why I say that. When I look at the Bulls in comparison to some of these other teams, like Philadelphia, who stops Embiid, Milwaukee, who stops Giannis, Miami. I mean, how do you stop their shooting? You know, the Bulls defense doesn't do them any favors. And even with Lonzo, even if you get Lonzo Ball back, that might help you on the perimeter, but that still doesn't fix some of the issues on the interior. And also, not to say that Vucevic, not to make light of Vucevic, because I think he can hoop. I think he's really good. It's just that Vucevic has games where he gets buckets put on him, but don't give them back. And he put up like a 12. He give you like a 15 and 10 double-double, while the other guy got like 34 and 19. So, you know, that's the only problem. So for the Bulls, they got to make it come full circle on both sides of the floor, specifically on their defensive end. They got to stop some teams. And I don't see them having the personnel to do it right now.
The only team, and the only reason I'm saying it is you talk about injury. The only team I see in the top 4 that maybe, that's how the Bulls are trending now. They're going to have to play one of these top 4 teams.
Yeah.
They might, because of the Robert Williams absence, maybe Boston, maybe they will still have to be on their best behavior to do that.
Even if, I'm going to tell you what I think about that one. Not because you're not wrong. But here's what I think. Even with Robert Williams out, even with him in, I think the Bulls can beat Boston. The Bulls played very well against Boston all year. Some of those games, DeMar DeRozan won by himself, actually. You know what I'm saying? So the Bulls matched up well against Boston. But I get it. Just like I said about North Carolina, hot team at the right time. That's Boston. That's Boston.
A very different defensive. First Boston defensive-minded team right now that you're facing with Boston. So
Patrick Williams is back. So
I do see that he has been playing well.
You can use him
playing well off the bench.
You can use him against like a Jason Tatum in a playoff series. It's when he got to go up against Embiid and he giving up size and going against Giannis, which he can do, where he gonna be giving up size for like 48 minutes. That I'm worried.
Which is the whole thing about how these last few games and all these little wins and who win what gonna match up. The Bulls play the Bucks tomorrow, and then they play the Celtics again. Right now, Boston is 2, and they are half a game in front of Milwaukee, who is 3. So, I mean, the Bulls are going to be impacting this playoff race about who they're going to face one way or another. Cleveland right now, 2 games. Cleveland is 2 games behind Toronto and the Bulls, who right now tied for 5th.
The Bulls have been real wishy-washy all season. Like, you know, they'll give you a game where they smack Toronto and you think they're going to turn the corner. Then the next night they get beat up by the Bucks. Then they have a game where they get a great comeback against the Clippers. Patrick Williams looks amazing in the 4th quarter and overtime. Then they come around and get smacked up by the Heat. So, you know, you don't know which Bulls team you're going to get.
I don't think they're going to fall into the playing game.
I don't either.
But I think it's very possible that they could fall into 6 and have to face 3. And right now, 3 is Milwaukee. And that's what you don't want to see for the.
Well, let's be at this point, Joe. If they can't get 4, I don't really see the difference. You're gonna play one of them teams anyway. So you gonna play whoever you gonna play one of them. Whoever you play at 3, you probably gonna play at 5. If they end up losing, if you end up getting to 5. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it can be tight though. You say they look good against Boston.
Yeah, I like the way they look against Boston. And Boston,
but they can end up playing against Milwaukee.
But the thing with Boston doesn't have with Robert Williams out, or even with him in there. I think he's more of a scrap player in the post. I don't think Boston has a guy they could just give it to on the block and let him work.
I agree with you on that. That's all they really needed for Boston. As far as you got Tatum and Brandon, Horford is probably the perfect front line player for him because he can stretch the floor with his 3-point shooting and his passing, whatever. But Williams, he's just pick and roll, offensive rebound, defense, swat some shots. The consummate big man stuff that he ain't gonna base no offense around him, but he's just an integral piece of what they do.
But in the
especially
playoffs,
defensively.
In the playoffs, it comes into a half. What I'm saying is, in the playoffs, it turns into a half-court game. So with Tatum ain't gonna be. A lot of times, Tatum he's really good at scoring in the open floor as well. He gets a lot of good buckets in the open floor. And so for the Bulls defense, that's why I think if the Bulls can iron out some of these defensive issues, they can get a series against a Boston. Some of those other teams, they like maybe Toronto even, like maybe a Boston or Toronto.
I don't think they'll end up with Toronto.
Yeah, they won't end up with Toronto. But I'm just saying, like, if they were to end up like in the 4 or 5 or something like that, like Boston or Toronto, I could see them getting out of the first round. Philly, Miami, and Milwaukee.
That's who's trending right now. Philly is trending to be the 4 right now. That's what Philly damn near got the 4 locked up because they are in 3 games. Oh no, I'm sorry. They right there with Milwaukee. So I'm sorry. So they can still end up at the 2. Philly can end up at the 1 damn near. So, because Miami hasn't clinched anything, so that's the whole thing about that top 4. It's going to be so crazy.
East hasn't been this fun in a long time.
Long time. We'll see how fun it be for us in the playoffs. Speaking of which, the playoffs start in a couple of weeks. I know the play-in tournament is from the 12th to the 15th. I believe the playoffs kick off on the 17th. Playoffs are going to be interesting this year. Doesn't look like the Dallas Mavericks over in the West are going to be playing the Clippers this year. That's been like one of the things that's going to. That's been one of the things I think that's been hurting the legend of Luka. It kept running into the Clippers, kept running into Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and stuff. But it doesn't like it's going to happen this year. At least it won't happen. It won't happen in the first round. If it's going to happen right now, Dallas is the number 4 team in the West after their impressive win in Milwaukee yesterday, 118-112. Look at the dime, 32 points, 15 assists, flat out balling since the break. Is this the year that Luka gets out the first round? Right now, on target to look at see Denver. Maybe another team I'm gonna talk about in a minute. But playoffs ended right now. They be seeing Denver with home court.
Dallas doesn't want teams that don't want to see Dallas are Denver without Jamal Murray and Golden State without half their roster. Golden State without half the damn roster, man. So, and Dallas, and it looks like Dallas is going to play one of them 2 teams, and maybe even Utah. If they end up with Utah, I think that might be a little more interesting. But I can still see Dallas getting out of the first round against Utah.
Yeah, Utah right now half a game behind Utah. Half a game behind Denver. Minnesota a game and a half behind Utah, so that's still. That's still a fluid situation. Minnesota right now is 7th. Minnesota is 7th. Clippers have locked up the 8th seed.
They locked that up like a week ago. Have you ever seen anybody clinch the 8th seed?
Clinch the 8th seed. It used to be like the last spot. It'd be big. Clinch the last playoff spot.
Now you clinch.
First. I mean, like I said, that 7-8 game now with the play-in tournament is big because you only got to. If you win that first game, you're in. 9 and 10 is the tough slot because you can win that first game and not be in. You got to win 2. And also the benefit of being in the 7-8 game, you can lose that first game and still win that last game and get in. So they give you 2 chances to win 1 game if you were 7-8. You don't agree with what?
I don't like the play-in tournament. I just think here's what I mean. I like the excitement that we get from the one and done feel of the play-in tournament, but I don't like the tournament itself as part of the playoffs because
this is like 20 out of 32 teams.
20 out of 30 teams making the playoffs. Like, dude, 2/3 of the league.
There's more teams in the lottery. I mean, it's 13 teams in the lottery. It's gonna be 12 teams not making it.
Like, come on, man. It was fun it worked for the pandemic and it worked last year. But at this point, it's like it's don't get me wrong, it's adding fun to the chase. But at the grand scheme of things, it's like, why? Why?
Money. Man, it just looks like money.
But other than that, why?
I mean, there's no other than that. The money is the bottom line.
Because logically, it's like, dude, it's 20 teams in the playoffs, and I know it's money, man. But it's like 20 out of 30 teams. It's too much. It's like how you get the AC lock clinched 2 weeks ago?
Because people want to see CJ McCollum against Paul George in an all-for-one game for one playoff spot to be in the playoffs for about 6 days, going to Phoenix for half your vacation.
That's good. Hey, Vic. Hey, you know what? I think that's the NBA. That's a good problem. That's a victim of success. Problem. Because it's like you got stars all over the league. You're right. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna watch them damn plays.
Can you imagine? Games. Look, Brooklyn is 10. And look, 2 years ago, Brooklyn is 10 right now. They wouldn't even been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Before the pre-bubble, they wouldn't even been in the playoffs. But now they get all this excitement. They
too many playoff teams, man. Too many playoff teams, man. 20 out of 30.
Yeah,
I'll be down for an in-season tournament. That, like, you know how the WNBA does it with the Commissioner's Cup.
Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah, I can do that. I can see that. A little prestige or something.
You know, the play
with extra playoffs.
Yeah, it's a little too much, man. It was cool at first, but like now it's like, all right, too much.
Yeah, they're doing too much. You know, NFL added a wild card. You know, MLB added a wild card. You know, they want to add 14. Speaking of Utah, you talked about Utah. You ever heard that line at the end of the? Know how much you love AZ. You ever heard the song "Do or Die" by AZ?
I've heard
that part of the end. He has the end of the part of the song. Do or Die. Say either you're in it or you're in the way, baby, pa. And I started thinking about like that. You feel about Utah and everything. Here's Utah sitting in this precarious position at 6. They haven't been playing well lately, particularly about the last month or so. Really just haven't been playing well lately. I mean, lost to the Warriors on Saturday. I mean, that started out there April. Just in March, just not very good. I'm just going back through some of the games. Lost to the Bucks. Beat the Bulls, of course. Beat the Kings. Lost to the Spurs. Beat the Trailblazers. That ain't big. Lost to Dallas. Beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. Got washed by the Pelicans by like 34. You don't want to see these birds. What's up? You know, I know you always say about Utah, you don't believe in them until, you know, in the playoffs. There was a 1 seed, you had the same feeling about them, but is this a little bit different here? Is the 6 seed?
Nope.
Are they really going to be here for about a week or so?
Nope. The most convincing Utah Jazz team I've seen since Stockton and Malone lost last year. That's you talk about. There ain't no convincing me this year, man. They didn't trade Joe Ingles. I know Bogey is playing good, but without Joe Ingles, I thought he was a key piece to that team. And I mean, it's still a lot of talent, but last year's Utah was 10 times more convincing than this year's, so I don't see it.
I think realistically, Utah could finish anywhere between 5th and 7th. Who do you think would be the best chance for them to advance to in the first round? Bro. First round, no chance against anybody. I think right now they would be on schedule against Golden State if it ended right now.
Like, who do I think they could beat in the first round?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Golden State. I mean, if Golden State has nobody there, yeah.
Golden State is not whole. You said Dallas would watch them already.
Yeah, Dallas would get that. I didn't say they watch them. I said Dallas would watch. I said Dallas would watch Golden State and Denver.
How do you feel about Dallas and Utah then? If that happened to be the matchup,
Dallas and 6.
Yeah, I like something about how the Dallas team is now without Porzingis. They're saying it's a lot more space. It's a lot of shooters now. You have about Davis Bertrands and Cleveland can shoot from the outside. Powell's really like the only drive outside. Everybody else can make
There's no distraction. There's no distraction in Dallas because with Porzingis, you got a star who wants the ball, but the problem was like Luka's 10 times more of a star here than you are. So it's like you kind of got to defer. And now, so with that, with Porzingis now in Washington, you add Spencer Dinwiddie, who has no problem playing alongside another scorer because he's smart enough to realize that's going to get me buckets too because I can hoop when they double team him. Or when he step out for them threes and they start closing in, guess who's going to be wide open? The guys in Dallas have learned how to play with Luka Doncic. That's what I like about this Mavericks team. You notice all those guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Tim Hardaway Jr., all of those guys, Brunson, all of those guys still hooping. And then you give them Dinwiddie and Bertans. You give them more shooters with Kleber. Like, that's a solid team. I can see them getting to the second round.
So Utah, the Jazz might be singing the blues.
No, that's tough.
Before this month is over.
Like St. Louis? Singing the blues like St. Louis?
Like St. Louis. Saturday night, downtown Atlanta. Kevin Durant put up 55 points against the Hawks and lost. And then he was also critical of their defense after the game. Said they shot 37-14 on free throws, and it really wasn't the refs was calling bad. It's just like we were reaching, like being too aggressive or something, or whatever he said. Or they weren't being aggressive enough. I don't know. This defense, man. I don't know.
That's tough, man.
Does this team, I mean, do they have enough? I mean, we know what Kyrie can do, and we know what Durant can do, but does this team? I'm also. I mean, he looks great.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is putting everybody on blast, and he's winning the MVP of anybody that I've seen on the bench this year as far as his gift. He got all kind of frames. You see him in Las Yaga suits and everything, man. He is killing it.
Paging Ben Simmons.
The yellow and black Louis Vuitton thing that he wore in Philadelphia is still dope with the mics. He is killing it on the sideline. You didn't even see him on the sideline in Philadelphia.
Hey, he ain't got nothing on when Don Staley wore that Fendi.
Don Staley let them. You talk about raising the choppers with that Louis Vuitton jacket last night, boy. I kept telling I was telling Lamar while I was watching the game. I said, "You see that Louis V jacket, Lamar? Like, that jacket is nice. That patch, you got the little V on the back, the L on the front." I said, "Come on now, Don." You let him know what.
Platinum Blend and Don Staley, she was getting them fits off the whole tournament.
I see it with the flip flop commercial and everything, with the life changing flip flop commercial and everything. She's definitely getting a different tax bracket, man, and everything.
She had that Fendi sweater. That was cold.
Come on, man.
Fendi sweater.
Man. So what's up with Brooklyn here, man? Kyrie also took more shots than KD. Kyrie having 31 in that same game, and Durant had 55.
Paging Ben Simmons.
You're paging. I mean, I heard he has a back issue now, and I don't know when he's.
Whenever he take the court, Brooklyn will be good again.
So they say they're not good enough are they good enough now to do what? Eliminated in the play-in, get eliminated in the first round, make it to the second round.
It's really interesting, man, because Brooklyn might get into that play-in and actually give somebody a run in that first round. Man, it might get somebody a good 6 or 7 games in that first round if they don't get out of it. But
they get out of it,
yeah,
And now we got to worry if they're gonna get even out of it.
Hey, keep in mind, Brooklyn is also they don't have Joe Harris. He's been out. He's
out this season. He's not coming back.
Yeah, he's not coming back. They got other guys. They've been having issues all year with guys in and out the lineup. And that's why they're in that. That's why they're where they are in the standings. But honestly, man, I don't see the chemistry with this team, man. These guys have hardly played together all year because of the vaccination issues. And then now that they are coming together, you see a lot of scoring, but not a lot of like team play. It's a lot of isolation ball, man. So I think Brooklyn to get through the play-in. But man, it'd be interesting for what they would be. They'd be like the Lakers last year. The Lakers when against Phoenix in that first round.
Right now, Brooklyn is season ended. Right now, they would be playing Charlotte. That's the 9-10 game. The loser of that game would be eliminated, and the winner of that game would have to beat either Atlanta or Cleveland. That's how it's set up right now. That's probably might change in a week. So. Think about being at 9-10, man. One injury, foul trouble one game, somebody get hot one game, you be cold for one half. It could be real ugly, man. Those teams can make you pay down there. It's very like a $2 steak. I'm telling you, it can happen.
Yeah, because Golden State. What was Golden State last year? The 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they beat Memphis, right? And then am I mixing it up?
I think they lost to Memphis.
Right, they lost to Memphis. Okay.
Well, so what
year was that they lost to the Lakers then?
I think it might have been the 9 seed.
Yeah, they lost to the Lakers too, right? And then like LeBron hit that shot, they beat the Warriors.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about being a 9-10 game. You got to win 2 games.
Yeah, okay.
That's the whole thing. You got to win 2. You can't lose 1, but you got to win 2.
But see, this is why I don't like to play. Because I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. Who the hell plays who? Who's playing who? And who gotta be who? Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. All right, the best thing to do is be 7-8 and win your game. You do that, you in.
I'm trying to see the bracket. Like, I need to see the bracket. Like, because I know Golden State lost to the Lakers at one point too.
Mm-hmm.
play-in tournament.
The tournament.
Yeah. Tournament. Right, because the Lakers lost, didn't it? I mean, the Lakers beat Golden State. Yeah, the Lakers beat Golden State.
Yeah, Lakers beat Golden State. See, that means Golden State was the 8.
Okay.
See, if you're the 8 seed, you get 2 chances. You know what I'm saying? If you lose that first game, you still got a chance. And that's when Memphis took advantage and went there and beat Golden State. And you get the home game. Right. If you're the 8 seed, you could lose that first game and then get a home game against the 9-10 winner.
So right, so 7, right? So it's 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9, 10 got to win.
The winner of the 7-8 game is automatically the 7.
The 7, right? Yeah. And then the 9-10 winner got to play 7, 8. I feel you. Okay.
So with that being said, before we leave off the NBA, I know the Clippers right now are clinched the 8th seed. Could you see the Clippers with playoff P and Ty Lue giving Memphis any trouble, or is that just a trip down to Memphis to get some barbecue for a couple of games and the season will be up?
I don't think I think you can see it. I think we're gonna see a Clippers Lakers play-in game.
Playing for all the marbles.
I think you're gonna see a Clippers Lakers play-in game, and that's how the Lakers get in. I think that's what we're gonna see. I think that's how the Lakers get in, man.
It's looking really bleak for them, though. I don't know if they.
It really is. Yo, man, that's my last ditch hope effort for the Lakers this year, man. Play-in game against the Clippers, and then they gonna lose.
Well, 2 games behind San Antonio, who also has the tiebreaker.
Actually, I'm sorry. The Clippers are 8. They can't play the Clippers. Never mind.
Yeah, they can. I mean, if the Clippers lose to the Timberwolves.
Okay.
The Clippers lose to the 7, and then they got to play. Yeah, so, but I mean, Lakers. The Warriors. The Suns tomorrow. Suns probably trying to put in the bed because they rested everybody yesterday and losing Oklahoma City.
Oh, don't do that. Phoenix.
They rested Booker, Crowder, and Ayton.
Oh,
only person that played was Chris Paul. So they probably
go for the street.
Yeah, they're gonna try to lead the Lakers out there in the desert somewhere. I think that's what they're gonna try to do.
I want to see Phoenix win like 65 or something. Come on, man, don't do that.
Then after that, the Lakers play Golden State. You don't know who Golden State gonna have out there from the 19 thing now. The Thunder's been very tough for the Lakers to beat for some odd reason all year. And then they end the season again with the Nuggets, who might have their position locked up, or who might not have their position locked up. So you don't know how that's gonna go.
Playoff basketball.
Yeah. Speaking of playoffs, I know I want to get to this NFL thing because we didn't touch on this last week because we ain't had no SOTG. You finally getting your little wish. You're finally getting your little wish about your little overtime rule, huh? And now you're putting your thumbs up. You're getting your little wish. Everybody feel bad.
Play-in tournament, NFL overtime rules.
Only for the playoffs because them damn safeties. I mean, I was just thinking about Hoyer and Michael Hyde. Hoyer and Michael Hyde, how mad they was about the reporters talking to him after they gave up them 200 yards on that Monday night against New England. Then they get cooked. Then they get cooked in 13 seconds to give up a field goal. Then they get cooked in overtime. I just keep remembering Hyde, them chasing Tyreek Hill while him putting up the deuces. Michael Hyde tried to run up real fast, and he was just like, yeah. He passed Poyer, but he was like, deuces, you still like 6 yards behind me. And I'm throttling down. So if everybody getting their overtime rule wish, go ahead and celebrate. I don't like it. The Bengals play defense.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bengals play defense. How will this affect everything? It's only been 12 overtime games, I believe, the last 12 years since they started doing the first possession thing.
I love the NFL overtime rules. I think both teams should get a touch. I don't think that's fair to Josh Allen. Josh Allen lost the AFC Championship game.
He lost the AFC divisional game.
You know what I'm talking about. But, they lost the AFC divisional game because
Pat Mahomes lost the AFC Championship game.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow went the first possession in overtime.
Pat Mahomes lost to Tom Brady, and he didn't get to touch the ball. So
that's bad for them.
And Josh Allen he lost the division.
Everybody
touch the ball.
Everybody on the Kansas City Chiefs defense and everybody on the Buffalo Bill defense got paid. Everybody still got their playoff share for that game, for appearing in a divisional or championship game. So they should have did what the Cincinnati Bengals did. Go out there and make a play. Go make a play on the first possession. Don't be worried about everybody on Arrowhead. Hone in on your assignments. Make a play. They made a play on the road in a playoff game.
Hey, tell Tony Romo to hold on to the snap.
What does this have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with anything. I ain't telling y'all to stop throwing the ball to BJ Raji in championship games. No, I ain't on that. I'm not on that. We're talking about the NFL overtime rule. We're talking about the overtime rule. You're just grasping for straws now. Don't do that. Wow.
You can't tell me you don't think that sometimes when Tony Romo be talking about kick up field goals. Man, how you gonna talk? You can't even hold on to the snap.
One of them times, you know what? You know the bad part about that? Yeah, you wish you could erase your memory of where you was at. You remember everything about that game.
I know, dude.
What y'all do?
I know.
Game. Yeah, 2 touchdowns scored in that game by Patrick Creighton and Miles Austin on a kickoff return.
I remember where I was when Randall Cobb cooked Chris Conte.
The whole sequence with that play was Jason Whitney got a first down, had a first and goal, then they reviewed it. They said his momentum was stopped, so that's what made him kick the field goal on quarterback. That's the worstest part about that you always remember about that. That's the worst part.
I remember there was a play in the game earlier. The Bears could have had a fumble and the Packers picked it up and scored. You
know that bar when Lil Wayne said, "Leave him dead in the living room." I was watching that game in the living room, and I see him dead right there in the living room. That's how I felt, dead in the living room.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Talk about this. I mean, just watching something like it's looking like. You know, leave him dead in the living room. Hey, you're looking around like this. That's just really the most unbelievable. This really just this. I mean, at least you could get your shit blocked, right? You can live a little bit if your field goal is short and it get blocked or something like the defense. Them motherfuckers didn't just fumble to snap it. They didn't just fumble to snap. They didn't.
Hey, look at it like this, man. I know Bino wouldn't have lied for it, but it happened to the Giants too. Remember against the Niners?
Yeah, I know.
That's another game I'll never forget where I was at watching that. I was like,
everybody thought it was pass interference. Tackled that lineman down there.
Hey,
dog, they said the lineman was ineligible.
Oh, yeah, right. I was like, I thought it was PI too, and they was like,
tackled that man.
They was like, game over. He's like, this game is over. Dog.
Oh wow. Oh, man. Yeah, I still feel bad. This pain don't take away from my misery. Had a good team that year. Played that well up in Seattle. Everybody was on Seattle back then. He's gonna go back. He's gonna get them. And we got them. We should have had them. And we let them off the hook. Let them off the hook. Yeah, hey, man, who you got going to the big game this year? After all these moves from now you done seen so far.
We ain't even had a draft yet.
Yeah, but you got to do it. Yeah, but you got to do it. You got to do it now. Well, you could just you can say the Chiefs.
Rams.
You can say the Chiefs because they're gonna have 4 picks.
I'm not gonna say the Chiefs. I'm gonna say the Rams first off because I think the Rams, that roster, man, they got better.
Bobby Wagner. Man, Bobby Wagner signed last week. Yeah, Bobby Wagner right in between them, Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald now.
Hey, the Rams knew, like, yeah, we might want to go get some backup. And better yet, let's go get it from in the division. Let's take away some enemies too. So they
Seattle. Go talk to Seattle. They're having a fire sale right now. They gave away all-pro linebacker.
Let them go in the division too. Like, damn, dude.
I mean, that's really when you're just trying to get rid of somebody, I guess. Same thing the Patriots did acquiring Devontae Parker from Miami.
But Wagner was a free agent, right?
Yeah, Wagner was a free agent.
Yeah, so he might have been like, yeah, I'm gonna go there because they got a title. The AFC, man. The AFC, man. I don't know about Kansas City right now, man. I mean, I do like the Chiefs, but that division is gonna be tough. So is the AFC North. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say Buccaneers. I'm gonna say Buccaneers, and it's gonna be Buccaneers, Rams in the NFC Championship, and in the AFC Championship, it will be Kansas City
and Buffalo and Cincinnati.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Baltimore. I think Baltimore get back this year with Lamar.
Baltimore gets back.
Baltimore get back this year.
You know what? I would say, since you do it like that, I would say Buffalo, Baltimore for the AFC Championship. That's what it would be. Buffalo, Baltimore, and then the NFC. Buccaneers Rams. That's what you think.
Yeah, right. Buccaneers Rams. Like that's the two best teams. Like they head and shoulders above everybody else. It's not even close. So it's like man, I think it's gonna be them.
Cowboys Packers.
Hey, in the AFC, I kind of want to pick the Broncos too.
Cowboys Packers for championship. Cowboys Packers championship.
Bears Packers NFC championship. That I would love that. I would love me some Bears Packers. Give me a little trash talk.
You've had that before.
Trash talk. Give me a little trash talk.
I don't know if you want that. I mean, they still gonna have the AI-12. And y'all gonna have.
But he ain't gonna have the DA-17 though.
And y'all gonna have the JF1, I guess. Even though all the fans don't feel good about him. You saw what the fan did essentially. He said he wanted an autograph. He said the guy kind of gave him the eye roll. He said, I guess he didn't like that about him. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's my quarterback.
Yeah, man. Other news, man. Major League Baseball. Sox took a major hit, yesterday. News of Lance Lynn gonna be out 6 to 8 weeks with a torn tendon in his left knee. I mean, he limped off the field on the other day while he was in the middle of his exhibition start. Gonna be out 6 to 8 weeks, so that's definitely gonna be a hole in their starting rotation.
Damn.
Other Sox news on there. Trade reliever Craig Kimbrell to the Dodgers for outfielder AJ Pollock. Another bet in the outfield. So how do you feel about the bad news and the good news for your South Side team?
I would prefer to have kept Kimbrell. I understand the trade because you need outfield help. You need to be solid all around the outfield, not just like left and center.
Right.
So they said they just solidified the outfield. So that's a solid trade, and then you get a solid back. So good trade, White Sox. But I like Kimbrell as the closer.
How big is the Lynn injury? We'll be missing him for maybe about the first 6 to 8 weeks right now. April 4th, couple of starts, maybe a couple of months.
Do we have word on who is going to be replacing him in the rotation?
I don't think so yet.
Okay, well, yeah, that'll be a huge loss. But until I see that, I can't comment on it too much. I mean, you obviously going to be losing an all-star arm, so they'll be missing Lance Lynn this season. But let me see who they'll have coming out, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Will Smith made history last week by winning an award and slapping Chris Rock all in the same show last week. Great commentary, social commentary, I guess, on social media about this thing. I still haven't watched Corey Holcomb's take on it yet. I heard it was pretty good. I just wanted to know what was like the funniest thing or some of the funniest memes, whatever, that you saw stemming from this incident last Sunday night at the Oscars.
One of the funniest memes I saw was the King of the Hill meme, where it was Chris Rock's character Buddha Sack, and it had one of his King of the Hill. It had one of his King of the Hill jokes, and then instead of Hank just sitting there taking it, they put Hank's face over Will Smith and he smacked Chris Rock's character. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I was watching comedian Lavelle Crawford go in on him in his little comedy show. I guess he was doing the comedy thing. He was going in on the whole situation. He had me busting. I got a whole bunch of punchlines. See, that's what happens when we let them in here. That's what they do. that's how white people view it. The Chris Rock and Will Smith thing. When you let them in here, that's what they gonna do. It was, oh man, he was talking about. So he said, I know Will Smith is happy that that Jada's saving him a whole bunch of money on hair products. And everybody's trying to say, oh, he said, I don't care. He said, I don't care nothing about that shit. Everybody found out she had alopecia. Went to the day after. Shit.
That's tough.
I don't know if you saw Tony Rock also with his little comedy thing.
Yeah,
slap my brother. Well, slap my brother because your wife gave you the side eye. It's 10 rocks. You don't know which rock gonna get you. I ain't got nothing to lose. Slapping the money. If you've been slapping the money, 10 rocks you gotta look out for. And a little Saturday Night Live skit too. Oh yeah. I don't know if you saw the Saturday Night Live skit too. That was pretty good too. I was tripping on that.
I didn't see that.
He had it out there like Will Smith was talking to one of his fans before it happened. Like, yeah, man, I love your music, man. I getting jiggy with it. That's my ringtone or whatever thing. Yeah, man. He's talking to him man, that's all right. Yeah,
hey,
he said somebody.
You saw that video how Will was at like partying afterwards to his own songs and all that, like in the club. Yeah, that video.
Oh man! Then in the middle of while he was talking to the fan, he heard the joke. He was like, yeah, excuse me. And went up there and did it. And came back talking to him like ain't nothing happened. Like, yeah, man. And then while he was talking to dude, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And the whole punchline to it. The whole punchline to it was one of the guys, one of the other fans that went to the bathroom. He came back like, oh, what did I miss? Then he looked at the phone like, oh, you're like, look at Will Smith. You met Will Smith. Like, oh, you're trending. He looked at his phone like, damn. Started looking at the slap on Twitter.
Amy Schumer did that too. She was like, did I miss something? Hey, somebody was like, remember that scene on Martin? He's like, I feel sorry for turtlenecks.
I mean, can you imagine being at the Oscars though? Like, you think it's a little break or a little commercial or dead part or something, this little line by the bathroom, you missed that, you come back and everybody's like, ooh, you like, damn, what happened? Will Smith just slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
Right. Hey, he was like,
he said Bill Crawford like Chris Rock was looking all stupid while Will Smith was walking up there, put his hands behind his back. Got slapped. He said that's a reboot. He rebooted Chris Rock.
He rebooted Chris Rock. Wow.
He said that's a reboot.
Hey,
he's going in, man.
I think it's funny they called it the slap heard around the world because that's how I found it. ABC Japan, ABC Australia, they had to post it for us to see it.
They say, man, the only thing people say, I haven't even known the Oscars happened last week if Will Smith went and slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. I didn't know until Desi sent me the thing and she sent me the big eye emoji, like, wow, you know that like he's got Will at the Oscars, and I looked at it, I'm like, damn.
Wow.
I couldn't believe. Hey, but you know what? We just getting started with that. They're gonna keep talking about that. That's all you're gonna hear. Because now now that Chris Rock then finally reacted, Will Smith didn't resign. He didn't resign from the Academy. It might die down a little bit, but at first you knew we was gonna hear about that until Chris Rock. He finally reacted. They still waiting on Chris Rock to give a proper reaction, a real honest Chris Rock reaction to it.
Wait till you start being on some Jimmy Kimmels and all that shit, some of these late night shows. Yeah. Wow, Jimmy, I saw him up there after I said the joke. I didn't think he was gonna do anything. That's why I put my hands behind my back. I thought he was gonna try to. I didn't know what he was gonna really do, but then I looked and I saw him. He had the same face he had in Bad Boys 1 when he was in that scene with Martin. And I looked in his eyes. I said, oh, and I couldn't do nothing by that time. By the time I looked at his eyes, the hand came across, and I was just like, whoosh. That's the shot everybody got me like this. Whoosh. That's the shot everybody got me with.
Hey, but you know what was weird? When he walked up to him, it sounded like Chris Rock said, oh, Richard. This is how he called him Richard.
Will Smith, Richard.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard. Yeah. I guess gonna get another joke here.
Right.
Like he might have had a Richard joke lined up for that afterward. He might have been looking in the audience. Okay, Jada Smith looked like G.I. Jane, and Will Smith getting his stuff freestyle. Richard nomination. I got something for him afterwards. Oh, Richard. I did greatest music in television history. Greatest moment in television history.
And that was a cold response though, because it was actually it's all they've been talking about for the whole week. All over the news.
Nothing
I peeped when we did Joe with Joe last week. I was on YouTube. I'm like, damn, everybody getting they slap shit off today, bro. All I saw on YouTube, slap. Chris Rock, slap.
It's crazy.
That's all I heard from saw on YouTube for a week.
What's in your cup?
What's in your cup?
I don't really have anything in my cup. I don't really have anything in my cup.
Yeah, I don't either, man. Like, I sipped all my hot chocolate, so and then like nobody really did anything crazy, man. Like March Madness was great. Nobody really did anything wow, dude, in sports.
Yeah.
I mean, the Will Smith thing is the only wow thing. So I mean, what's in your cup to the Will Smith and Chris Rock coverage? I guess.
Shout out to Nas and his performance last night at the Grammys. I did stay tuned in on that channel to at least watch that. Shout out to Kanye winning this couple of awards. I don't know who won the best rap album award.
Tyler
I know
the Creator.
Kanye won. Tyler the Creator. Okay.
Tyler the Creator won.
Shout out to Tyler the Creator for that. Best melodic rap song I know is Kanye.
Shout out to Tyler, but I would have voted for J. Cole. I said
J. Cole.
All year I said J. Cole, the offseason was my favorite album last year. But hey, I can't lie to you. That Tyler the Creator album. I have been listening to that this year. That is kind of hard. It is really good.
So yeah, shout out to Tyler the Creator, Kanye the West, all the Oscar winners. Shout out to all of y'all here, man. And shout out to South Carolina Gamecocks winning Don Staley's first Black man or woman to win 2 national championships. And we'll see. Hopefully, North Carolina can win tonight. Hubert Davis, in his first year as a North Carolina coach. It's going to be a big, tough game against Kansas.
Hey, Bulls fans, here's something positive for you.
His hands high. They kicked it out to Klein. Right angle 3 off the front of the rim. Tapped away from Schuler to Simonovic. Simonovic leading the break here. It's a 4-on-2. He drops it off to Hill for the right-hand layup. What a play. Point guard Marco.
Loving point guard Marco. He didn't even look at the pass. He just dropped it off, kept his head up high. It looked like a point guard, even though he's 6'11".
Yeah. Hey, son, you need him for the playoffs, right?
Yeah, he got called up. He got called up yesterday, man.
Okay, so shout out to Marco Simonovic. You know, he came a long way. He was in Rouse's doghouse. Now he in his penthouse. Now he on the calls and everything.
He wasn't in my doghouse. I'm an analyst, and it's my job to analyze whether you play good or bad. And he was playing bad early in the season. He's playing a hell of a lot better, man. Like I have to give him credit, man. Platinum blend to Marco, platinum blend to the Windy City Bulls season. I mean, no playoffs this year, but it was fun to be back in the building, man. It was a great experience. I enjoyed it. Devon Dotson capped it off with a monster dunk. You can catch that on social media. So it was great, man. Salute to Marco, man. Really, really great season, man. Improved his shooting, his high pick and roll, and obviously his playmaking right there.
Salute to you and Sam Brief and all the good guys, the crew. Lighting it up for NBC Sports Chicago all year and everything.
Yes, sir.
Joe DiGiacomo another year. You got 5 years in at that thing.
Yeah, Sportstown Chicago too. Also, Chris Rouse show, man. New episodes coming Wednesday and Friday. I was going to do a national title preview, but we already did it here. So
okay,
I'm taking the day.
Taking a personal day.
Taking a personal day. I'm taking a personal day, dog. I'm taking 2 personal days.
So you do that, man. You got to do that sometime. You got to do that,
swear, man.
Especially if you're able to.
Man.
Yeah, man. So it's another one in the books, man. Joe episode 28. Thank you to everybody that joined in the chat. Landon, Polo, whoever else you didn't tell me who was in the chat.
That was it. Landon and Polo.
That was it. All right. Well, we'll share it, we'll YouTube it, anchor it, all that other good stuff. We'll see how it come out then. Yeah, man. Shout out to Carolina. Go Heels tonight. Remember, root for the Heels tonight, Chris. Root for us now. I know you're gonna be sitting there. You got your Kansas colors on, so I already see where you're going, right?
Hey, if North Carolina wins, it'll be revenge for Derrick Rose. Because I wanted Memphis to win.
Okay, well, I know you could be like real cynical and revenge and petty minded like that. So for Chris Rouse, I'm Joseph Gregory. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Joe with Joe.
I love the 08 Memphis team.